Hey everyone, welcome to the Reddit branch. Today we have interesting stories from Reddit that I would love to hear your opinion about. So feel free to let me know what you think down in the comment section. If you enjoy the video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for content like this every day. First story. Husband received random text from woman at work and I lost it. Am I the a-hole? Okay, here is the context. My husband works construction for a local hospital. He works nights and usually we're just bypassing each other in the morning and evenings. We have been together going on 12 years now, and he has a history of when things get tough, he seeks attention from others. He has done such a great job over the last 2 years of not letting this be the case, but every once in a while if a situation is brought up, I get insecure. Mind you, I haven't gone through his phone in the last 2 years. The other day, I went to see if he had set his alarm in order to pick up our daughter from daycare. He sometimes forgets unless reminded, and I hadn't reminded him this day. So I see his open texts, and one of them, let's call her Jane Hospital he works at. The only thing it says is, no? And the next line was good morning. There was nothing written before or after. Now my insecurities and red flags are screaming. What was the context to her asking no? And why would she be texting good morning? I confronted him and he immediately got defensive. Told me nurses come at him all the time and he does everything he can to scare them off, and that myself and my daughter are the most important things to him. It was only after I contacted my friends that I found out part of his job is to be professional and have contact with the nurses to ensure the project is completed. I told him it was incredibly suspicious, that there was no context to her stating no, and I wanted to know the facts. He told me I was being overly insecure and that he's completely over being interrogated whenever any little thing happens. But he never actually answered the question. Given our history, I do not feel like I'm asking much to just be informed of what's going on. If you have random women texting you, I would like to know who they are and why. He's been working this job for almost 3 years and I never knew he had to text nurses or they had to text him. So am I the a-hole here? People replied in the comments with, I can't possibly answer this question. I can give you a perfectly good explanation as to how he could be innocent, but this could also mean he's guilty. If we do not have any more concept, I'm reluctant to answer. The story points to you not being the a-hole as it is. How he could be innocent, Jen hits on him, he declines, she can ask him his number and he can say no. And then she's stocky enough to find it another way, easier than one might think and hope. Then she proceeds to send him the no text and see, I could have your number, or even she could have been messaging him and he could have been ignoring her. But given your post past, he could have thought it better to erase all her messages as to not cause a situation like this in the future and still ignore her. Last 2 messages may be ones he didn't have time to erase, either guilty or innocent. This is definitely true. If this is the case, it's completely understandable that he also became defensive because he got scared of how things might escalate. Not the wisest choice, but still. On the other hand, he could be guilty as charged. I cannot possibly know, and there is no information that could help me honestly because you would be biased to answer any question. I hope you understand. For reference, I have both ends of the situation happen to me. One who was super guilty and I was right on my instinct, and one who was innocent and I literally drove him away because I got super stuck on one thing he did and thought him guilty of everything afterwards and found out eventually he was actually innocent. Now for my personal opinion, I don't think the poster should have gone through her husband's things, but I kind of understand how she must feel. Her husband is also acting really suspicious and shady. She deserves to know the truth. Next story. Am I the a-hole for calling the police on my husband? My husband's car doesn't work and he needs money to get it fixed. He doesn't have enough money. I'm in medicine school and have been getting ready for the exams for a month now. Every month, he and his friends go on a road trip. His car has been sitting in the garage for 3 months now. He asked if he could take my car to take the guys on a road trip since it was his turn to take them. I told him I need the car since I have a weak immune system and public transportation might be risky, and I cannot afford to get sick in the middle of my exams. He begged saying his friends are gonna say he ruined the trip and our discussion got nowhere. The trip was last week. I had an exam the day of the trip and left at 8 a.m. I had several things to do. I stopped by the coffee shop to use the internet. I arrived at the university at 8:30 and entered the hall getting ready for my exam. After I finished, I spent a few minutes with my friends, then I left. I got to the parking lot and my car wasn't there. I started freaking out, thinking I might have left the door open or something. I called my husband, but he didn't pick up. My friends immediately told me to call the police. I ended up waiting for them to ask me about what happened, and the officer said I needed to come to the station to give my statement. I stayed there for 4 hours, then I was told my car was found. My husband was driving it and was picked up an hour away from where we live. I was shocked and mad. It never occurred to me that he was the one who took it. I went home and waited till he got back. He was upset and didn't want to talk about what he did. The argument started after he said he made a copy of the key and didn't take it till he made sure I arrived for my exam. I yelled at him and told him it was not okay. He caused me to stress and worry about the car. He told me calling the police was drastic and shouldn't have gotten them involved, but I had no idea he took the car. He said he wanted to text me but forgot. Said the trip was ruined and he was embarrassed by being picked up by the police while he was with friends. He still thinks calling the police was over the top reaction, but what was I supposed to do? People replied in the comments with, "You're not the a-hole," and dump him. He stole your car, let you worry, and can afford to go on a trip with his friends but not fix his own car? You deserve better, hon. Go get it. You're not the a-hole. He literally stole your car like a bratty teenager when you told him no. This should seriously make you reevaluate your relationship. Please, for the love of God, make this person your ex-husband soon. If your partner cannot even clear the bar of doesn't steal my car, you're not the a-hole, obviously. Now, for my personal opinion, the poster is absolutely not the a-hole. How was she supposed to know he took the car when he basically stole it? She needs to have a serious discussion with him or to just dump him. Next story. Am I the a-hole for refusing to let my autistic nephew come to my wedding? Pretty much the title. I'm due to get married in August, and because our wedding has been rescheduled about 4 times now, we have decided to go huge as we have had an extra year, more or less, to save. I was always kind of dreading my nephew being there. His autism is kind of severe and most things will send him into a meltdown, and his meltdowns are destructive. He's only 6, he'll be 7 by the time the wedding happens, and I know he cannot help it, but I still don't want that at my wedding. His sensory disorders are through the roof. He only wears dresses, which is fine, but he obviously will not be able to wear a dress that would fit the theme. He cannot deal with loud music or too many people, and smelling certain foods make him sick. Because of autism, his senses are through the roof. All in all, he will 100% have a meltdown, and I don't want my wedding day to be defined by him. My sister is pretty understanding, but because the wedding is out of town and we will have to get hotel rooms for everyone, she will not have anyone to watch him, so the other 3 of her kids will not be able to come. 2 also have autism, but it's much more manageable with them. Her 4th suffers some behavioral problems, but nothing diagnosed, so we cannot take the kids and look after them. My mom is really upset over it. My nieces and nephew are also really upset that they cannot come. I'm feeling kind of bad, but I do not want him at my wedding. My mom has offered to take the 3 kids, but they're all kind of apprehensive. My sister has said that she might come down anyway and just drop the 3 older kids off and take the youngest out to dinner or something. My other sister thinks I'm being insensitive and ableist. Either way, I'm forcing my older sister to miss my wedding when I should just suck up the fact that my nephew has a disability and make adjustments for him, as I have more than enough time to change the arrangements. I do not want to alter my special day just for him. Am I the a-hole? People replied in the comments with, "You're not the a-hole. Sounds like it would be pure hell for your nephew if he was forced to come to your wedding. Don't let adults, especially ones that are not his parents, make you feel guilty. How is it that everyone is worried about the child being excluded, but not about the child's actual well-being? Purposefully putting a child with sensory issues in an area where they will definitely have a meltdown is just mess the F up, to be honest. The child would be miserable. Why would anyone want that for them? Everyone sucks. You can set up an area for them to de-escalate without becoming the center of attention, and a place to sit quietly during the reception, and give the mother the option of coming or not. You're not making changes to your day, just making what essentially extra seating. You're not the a-hole. Having a disabled brother, I get that it's not as harsh as it sounds. However, I think a compromise is needed here purely because of the traveling. Could your sister have a close friend watch her son in another room at the venue? For example, at my dad's wedding, we each did hour-long turns of minding my brother away from all the loud noises. Now, for my personal opinion, the pastor is not a total a-hole. I believe a compromise can be achieved so that the kid can attend and not have a meltdown. I think the pastor needs to be more open about discussing the issue. However, the family pressuring and guilt-tripping them is 100% an a-hole move. This concludes all the stories we have for this video. Thank you so much for watching and I hope you enjoyed it. Please feel free to share your opinions in the comment section down below. Until next time.